I am once again reminded you that Santa Claus is a severely obese old white man who lives at the North Pole. Now, I don't have anything against white people. I'm just saying the older the white person, the higher chance of them being racist, sexist, homophobic, and just an overall bad person. And Santa Claus supposedly very, 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 very fucking old. So it's pretty much guaranteed, especially as I get through the rest of this. Him being severely obese comes up later. We just gonna go through the whole thing. Step one is he is running a slave plantation full of little people. Okay, he might call them elves, and you might buy that story. Be fucking for real. Those are little people that he has somehow fucking kidnapped. Where he got them from, how he got them, that's a story within itself that we don't have time to get into at the moment. But the whole story don't sit right with me. There's a bunch of missing people that I'm sure just ended up at the North Pole somehow. On top of that, he got them there making copyrighted toys. Cause how come you can ask Santa Claus for anything and he can find a way to get it? He ain't paying for this stuff. He ain't paying anything because he ain't paying anybody. That don't make sense to me. And I was a different kid, being that like one, my parents was on crack. Two, they didn't even tell me about Santa Claus. I just heard other people talking about it. And I was like, oh, everybody's on crack. It's not just mom and dad. So because the story just don't make sense. So a severely obese old white man running a slave plantation full of little people, very on brand for a white person that's that old, like hundreds or very on brand. So the slave plantation, little people, the copyrighted toys, everybody's getting ripped off here. The part that really gets me, we're going to come back to that. Then we got his wife, Mrs. Claus, who is clearly being isolated away from the rest of her family all the way at the North Pole. There's some domestic things going on there because that don't even sound right. Why are you that far away from the rest of society or any form of humanity? That don't sound right. And then next up on the list, you mean to tell me he let Rudolph get his ass whooped? Rudolph got cancer in the face, in his nose. Santa didn't care about none of that shit that was going down. They whooped his ass. He couldn't play in the reindeer games, none of that. He was getting clowned on, made fun of. Oh, you got cancer nose. Nobody cared. The moment they needed him to guide the sleigh, he on the front just work. That's animal abuse that's just being allowed to go on, and that's really shit. You got fucking little people as slaves, the animals as slaves. Rudolph didn't want to do that. Rudolph didn't even want to be there. Rudolph probably wishes Bambi was his mom because she wouldn't have sent them there. And Bambi's also dead. So he would just be able to free roam. So they going across the entire world in one night on some kind of magical voodoo shit. I don't know what the fuck he got going on or how fast he moving or how he's doing it. Across the entire world in one night, giving out gifts. Cause he sent his underlings to malls across the fucking world to have little kids come sit on their lap and be like, hey, what you want for Christmas? I don't know, man. That's just a little pedophilia to me. That don't sit right with my spirit. So after getting all those lists, people sending in letters, people making requests, he goes around the entire world in one night, breaking and entering into everybody's home. I didn't even have a chimney, okay? So I don't know how he thought he was getting into my house. Eating enough milk and cookies to have the most severe case of diabetes that modern medicine has ever seen. There's no reason this man should be alive, but clearly he's some sick, twisted, magical being. Breaking into people's houses, eating all this cookies and milk, leaving the shit behind. He ain't washing and dish, crumbs everywhere. You got roaches going around now. Kissing people's mamas, running people's grandmothers over, and they made a fucking song out of it. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Blame the reindeer and not the nigga driving. That don't make sense to me either. That's like, oh, grandma got run over by a Nissan Altima. It wasn't the person behind the wheel. It was the car itself. Like, come on, bro. Accountability being dodged all the way around. Next up, you got 24/7 surveillance on every child when they asleep, when they awake. I couldn't see my kid if they was in the other room on the other side of the wall, But you got 24/7 surveillance on every child, and y'all still telling me nobody stopped to think, this dude might be a kid toucher. First, there's the lap sitting, asking people what they want in exchange for the lap sitting. And then you go around breaking into people's houses, and you got 24/7 surveillance. This man is a criminal beyond all natural belief, and for some reason he gets celebrated. I ain't saying you got to believe in Jesus. I ain't saying you got to celebrate Jesus. I'm not even saying today's actually Jesus' birthday, because I really don't know. I wasn't there. I only been here 32 years. I don't know too much of shit. I really don't know shit about fuck. However, that math just don't math to me. That's some weird shit going on. And so if you behave and you're on the nice list, you get what you ask for. You on the naughty list, you get cold. Because I guess, I don't know, go fucking start a barbecue or something, little nigga. I don't really know what that's all about. Cold was a weird choice. You could have just gave them nothing. Would have made more sense to me. And then it just... Okay. What do you do the rest of the year? That's what I'm saying, bro. That is just it. Santa Claus is a man who lets animal abuse goes on, enslaves animals, enslaves little people, is isolating his wife away from the rest of her family at the North Pole, has a severe amount of CP on all of his devices because 24/7 surveillance, you seeing some things you shouldn't see. I've been a kid and I've done some kid stuff. You seeing things that you shouldn't see because what? Merry fucking Christmas. That's who gets the credit for all the gifts you bought.